Alright, it's about that time of night. The hole in the wall, messy miracle bench, nobody doubt it. RC127 at the control of the helm in this here realm. The messy miracle bench, hole in the wall CB shop. The candy asses have just arrived. But my friend alerted me earlier in the video game that they're already out here. That I'm a magnetic for cucarachas. Despicable.
Yeah, but alright, well, right there, I got no watch actually coming out. That's what's the problem. I need a little bit more watch. Right there, right there. And the audio's good. I can come up with the audio. No, that's the audio by you, Jim. Can I come up? You sound like you're talking out of your friend's ass.
Yeah, why not, Captain? Add a little more crunch to that bowl.
Sounds like you're talking out of your friend's ass. Oh man, I guarantee to you, audio is Q5. Oh, Mr. No Good said that on that quiet. How about it, gentlemen? Jim? But he's belly button. You're too loud to me now, Jim. This radio has a couple of buttons I gotta push, I guess.
Holy shit, I didn't realize my load knob was that way. Audio. Audio, cool stroke.
On the line. Yeah? And this was on Long Island? Yes, Long Island today. It happened overnight. Well, okay. I don't know. I slid over a little bit on the channel so I can hear you perfect. You don't know who might have picked him up to eat, Frank. If they pick those things up, they're going to be in trouble. They look kind of sick, dead. I would eat them. But I just hope they weren't sold to fish stores, you know? Hey, Frank, you know tilapia? Jim, yeah, I heard it's the worst fish you could ever eat. I don't know about worst fish. A lot of people like tilapia. I like tilapia. I eat it a lot, honestly. Please don't say anything bad about it, or it's going to kill me. I like tilapia fish. Jim, did you say that you enjoy tilapia?
Hold on a second. Tilapia is one of the nicest, sweetest tasters, low in biotin, low in cholesterol, low in fat fish there is. But if you do not know how to cook it, it can taste like the worst.
Alright, we have a few connoisseurs of tilapia. Jim, what do you know about tilapia? I get it in the store, and my wife cooks it, and I like it. That's all I know. I'm not a cook. I don't pretend to be a cook. And if I go to a restaurant, I order it, and it comes out the way I like it, I never had a complaint about it. For Frank, what do you know about tilapia, Frank? I see Greeks and Ginzos ordering it. And I wasn't too sure I seen any, Irish guys eating it, but yeah, that's what I know. And I had it a couple of times. It ain't too bad. I mean, I don't think I'll have it again, but I had it like 2 or 3 times, not too long ago. Hey, Rich, what do you know about tilapia, Rich?
I know that it is one of the nicest, sweetest tasting, low in biotin, low in cholesterol, low in fat fish there is. It's very, very big amongst the Hebrews and the Muslims.
10-4. Hey, Boo, is that you? You guys want to know the honest truth about tilapia? As long as it's good, I do, yes. As long as it's what? It's good. Alright, listen, how about if I do you all a favor and Google Mike Rowe on the, dirtiest jobs and Google tilapia. Oh, really? Most of them are farm raised. I wouldn't consider it a farm, but yes, Mike, it is humanly raised. Well, I'm gonna He's the bearer of nasty.
Rat. Listen, that can't be no worse than the overhead walks in the Budweiser factory.
I think so. Well, listen, I'll give you a brief explanation on how what Richie called the farm and I call the sewage treatment plant. That's where this fish is raised, in the sewage treatment plant.
Like I said, it can't be no worse than the overhead walks over the mats at the Budweiser factory.
Okay, what happens is this particular fish happens to enjoy our feces, okay? As their main source of food is our feces. So they put these fish in a sewage treatment plant, and they put them in one of the final, they call it the settling tanks, or the final settling tanks, where the water is pretty clean, but not 100% yet. And these fish, eat our feces that are left over in that tank. And the way they take them out to put on the market is that they walk a net across, so the length of the tank, and the width of the tank, and walk across the whole length of the tank with the net dragging it. And whatever fish stays in the net is for sale.
And what country is this?
The good U.S. of A.
You ruined my day.
And if you don't believe me, these jobs, tilapia.
Hey, Jim.
Again. I'll never eat tilapia again.
Gentleman Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yes. Trying real hard to belong.
How many links do you have in your chain, sir?
You better off like fish and stripers and...
I'm asking that because you need to shorten up your chain, man. He's jerking it hard.
You know what? I have a little confidence in that man because he knows a lot about fishing. I've met him a couple of times and I have confidence in that he knows what he's talking about.
Google it, and I guarantee you that you will say tomorrow, if you guys do it tonight or while we're on the radio, you'll say you're an asshole for telling me, because you'll see that it's the truth.
Well, he does have a way of delivering factual facts funnily and formally.
Anywhere in the world, there's no such thing as a fish called tilapia other than in a sewage treatment plant? Frankie, this fish is not a wild fish, Frank. This is a farmed fish. Okay, as Mike would call it a farm, I call it a sewage treatment plant. But tilapia does not grow in the wild. There was no such thing as tilapia until they did this. Did what?
Exactly.
Satan created a fish.
So you're saying tilapia is a man-made fish? Tilapia is a man-made fish?
Nah, man, don't give that outcast credit like that.
Richie Radio, you know he's the greatest counterfeiter. Okay, guys, Google it and find out yourselves, okay?
I'm the king. I'm the king.
Google it and find out.
Of Queens, maybe.
I'm the king of Queens. I'm the king of Queens.
You hear the queen of Queens?
I run the show until sugar falls.
Tilapia really bad for you? Like that? That's nasty. Come on, stop.
Come on, man. All he's trying to do is wave at his Brooklyn crew.
Who's that?
Worse than bacon.
Who's that in Augusta, Georgia? Who's that in Augusta, Georgia?
Tilapia worse than bacon.
If he disappears, then I'm
become the boss?
Who's that in Augusta, Georgia, 347, Mr. VIP in the Big Apple trees with the nose problem, break?
No, my wife's on a computer, and I can't interrupt her, but I will do that before the day's over.
Hey, but he's those fucking people. That's your nose problem.
That station out there in Augusta, Georgia, what's that? We'll be that 28 there. We'll be that 28.
Frozen in the refrigerator. 28 of them.
I haven't had it in a while. Most of the time we get it when I go out to a restaurant.
But it is good for you. Anyway, that station out there around Augusta, Georgia, man, we got a lot of locals firing now over here. They're jealous. They gotta receive like apples. Mr. VIP in the Big Apple trees waving the golden numbers up there quiet.
You a bitch? Yeah, I was pretty shocked. You know, because
Right there, right now. You take care, God bless, at 73. That station around Augusta, Georgia, Mr. VIP in the Big Apple got down.
here in the United States, I thought this fish was imported, you know, for the longest time. And then when I saw the show with Mike Rowe, you know, Dirtiest Jobs, I was taken back a little bit, and I had to inform friends about it.
I can't afford the
Stupid.
As soon as I get my pocket, when I get down the truck and shit, my 50 or 60 steps a day go down to less than 40.
I know the Mexicans eat that fish.
Well, that's because it's cheap, Mike. You know, I mean, it's ready available. Listen, you gotta understand something. If you want to enjoy the seafood.
Oh, hello, Ron, DX Land, Mr. VIP in the Big Apple trees. Hello, Ron, DX Land.
I have a wild fish.
Mr. VIP in the Big Apple trees getting on down with his modified ground plane. Break. I like fluke of flounder and my striped bass and salmon. That's it. And red snapper. Who's that coming back to VIP? Come on.
Those are all good fish. I mean, the blackfish, the sea bass, are very good, excellent fish. You know, the Chilean sea bass and northeastern sea bass, they're very, very close to each other. Not the same exact fish, but very, very close. You know.
Shame on the mess. They're making it real rough and tough for my ears around the Big Apple trees. I ain't pulled out no 28, but we heard you out there around Georgia. It looks like Georgia's about to come in any minute now. Oh, Mother Nature's opening her legs. Mr. VIP in the Big Apple trees working his ground plane right now.
It must be of the wild species, Roger.
The Chilean bass is another one I like. The Chilean bass, oh yeah, I like that one too. Cod, I like cod.
Yeah, those are true fish. You know, those are true fish. Tilapia, I'm sorry to break your bumble there, Gentleman Jim, but I had to tell you.
Well, I got my 2 fingers down my throat now. I'm throwing up.
You know, no matter how much breadcrumb they put on it, no matter how much garlic they slice on it, it's still tilapia.
You know who does a nice job with tilapia?
Oh,
I've been there a number of times and ordered Chilean bass and tilapia.
Yeah, like I said, you know.
Oh, Mr. Worldwide trees, VIP, #1 station. Talking on his baby driver, the Big Apple, with his modified ground plane, got down.
On the sides, like a flag. I thought it was part of the, Porgy family, but, oh boy, it's not.
Que pasa? Buenas noches, comandante. Whoopie, what up?
Uncle.
Yeah, well, Papa, you are one of these days, man. I gotta talk to you, my friend. I will Papa, you are one of these days. Somebody.
¿Qué You could always come talk to me, friend. You could always dial my number. You could always come talk to me. You could always do whatever you need to do. No problem.
Okay, aquí dice, man. I want to talk to you about a thing, but I don't know about you also, man. Let's see about Thursday or Friday. A poor man's lobster.
No problem. No problem. Anytime you're ready, you know, you use the telephone, and we set it up, okay?
Okay, bye. Yeah, Roger for it. No sweat, no pain.
Hey, John, what about tilefish? I don't know if you ever heard of it. I'm sure you have. Tilefish.
Yeah, well, tilefish is in the same category as like a big sundial, big stingray. They're flat-going fish.
It took me as long as tune up, as long as it took you to shut the hell up.
They absorb a little more mercury and stuff like that, you know, when you're laying on the bottom. But they're all good fish.
And they're ugly looking as hell.
That little stuff you got over there. What's that?
Tilefish. I've eaten that. That's very good.
Yeah, it's a white meat fish. You know, it's got a lot of white meat to it. Alright. So does Benny. 8347. Get the needle out of color. Black buck. Yeah, he was nuts too, right? That guy was.
Yo, no good. Go flying down anyway. I'm on a 21. I'm back quiet.
And when he got the joke, and he's, you know, he couldn't help himself from laughing. Yeah, all right.
Hey, you listen, that one took a second.
The man with the black boxer go.
Yo, every now and then you get one of those that hit like a slow bullet, you know?
Yeah, truth is a summer fish. What's that? Flounder is a summer fish, right? No, well, they have a winter flounder, and the flounders, they like cold water. You know, they're not warm body fish. So when the water starts to warm up inside the bays and the harbors and stuff like that, they head out to deep ocean. The problem is our draggers that work off 3 miles off the coast of our coastlines drag everything on the bottom, kill everything, pick and choose what they want to keep and throw the dead in the back, back in the ocean. No chance of survival, no chance of growing back. You wonder how come you're in the middle of the winter and you have a 16-inch flounder that's available to buy, because they go hit the grounds where they're going to spawn. Only commercial people are allowed to do that. We're not allowed to do that. When you see big fish in the market that are summertime going fish, or early springtime going fish, they're going to their home. They're going to where they live, and they get them there, which does not give the species not one chance of getting strong.
Oh man,
Well, Mr. Rat, I think the guy in Augusta, Georgia wants to give you his input on that, dog.
Ruin and wreck the bottoms with roller gear, which they just roll on the bottom of the ocean, and the fish get caught up in it, in the trap, and they come up with it. It could be 5 miles later that they'll come up with it, because that's how much bottom they're rolling over. That's why I don't feel bad when they lose their gear up when they're on a reef, and they're just wrecking everything, these guys. But that's the way us Americans live. Anything we touch, we ruin.
That's a lie. Every radio I touch turns to gold.
Well, I had what was it today? Flounder. Wow, that was a big one. Yeah, and like I said, they're not getting them. They're not fishing them hook line, like they're doing on the show Wicked Tuna. It was even more sickening, bro. What they do down on the southern coast of Australia, in the Southern Ocean over there when they're going for tuna. They're not catching one or two. They're catching 100,000 tons, 200,000 tons of fish every year. It's a $20 million business a year that these guys are making out down there, and corralling herds and herds of school, not one or two, thousands and hundreds of thousands of fish, which is murder.
Ew, I'm sorry. I was letting my boss know, 'cause he eats it like 3-4 times a week. And yeah, he was saying something about hearing stories, so I let him know what you did, what you said. Yeah, and ew. But anyway, I gotta go walk the dog, and I'll be back in about maybe a half hour.
What do you mean you told him about tilapia?
Before, he eats it 3 times a week.
You got your Molly with you?
Yeah, man, dude. Yo, yeah, I want to stop him right now. The guy's almost pushing 300 pounds as it is.
Hey, Frank.
Yes, Rich.
No, not you. The other one, Bandit.
I'm sorry.
You got your Molly and your pooper scooper, dog?
No, I bought Molly in La Casita.
Okay, well, don't forget the pooper scooper now.
I walk around with 4 bags in my back pocket. I gotta go with 4 because it takes 3 or 4 poops each walk.
My kind of dog.
And he's been licensed since he was in my I should say possession. Yeah, he's been licensed.
In his wound.
Yeah. Every poop he ever did was picked up, and it's all organic, tenfold.
In his wound.
I hear you. I'm back at my cut.
You never had any loose ones?
Well, I picked them up too, even if I gotta just bend down and try to scoop whatever I can scoop up. Law-abiding, tax-paying, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's, you know what I mean? And if everybody did that, we'd be paying less. But there's a lot of bastards with Pennsylvania plates living in Brooklyn. A lot of bastards with Jersey plates living in Brooklyn. And you're just making us idiots that want to be legit have to pay more. And you know what? I'll pay more because it's better to be legit than to be like you.
Hey, what you call it, Rat? What's the same as a, salmon? The same as a salmon? What's in the same family as salmon? Don't look it up. This is a freshwater fish. You got, trout. Trout is also a very good eating fish. You got it. Now, trout, you have a sea trout. You have a rainbow trout. You have, I think one other trout that's out there that, it's like chicken.
Lake trout.
Yes, lake trout, yes. And then you got the old famous trouser trout. I also like whitefish. Yeah, whitefish is like a ling. Yeah, and they're good. They're all bottom feeders, they all stay to the bottom. I make a good stew. If you like it, yeah. My mom makes, when I get the stripers, I give her the head, and she makes a big pot of soup for herself. She loves it. She'll sit there and pick at it all night. I love brains, boy. Oh my God, give me that. Yeah, you like that? Oh yeah.
Zombie brains.
What do you mean, Mike? You like that? Oh, forget about it. Oh my God.
Chuck likes eyeballs.
My mother picks on the eyeballs. But I can see Mike sitting at a round table with a monkey right in the middle and then hitting him with a hammer till his skull cracks open.
Yeah, he must be weak.
Fish brains. Oh my God.
Hey, John, did you see that show where they had that monkey in the middle and they keep hitting him until his skull cracks and then he eats his brains while they're warm? Did you ever see that?
Yeah, it was Faces of Death. That's the name of the movie was, Faces of Death. And you had, I think it was 2 female and 3 males that was sitting at the table, all had little wooden hammers, and the monkey, the little chimpanzee, was in the middle of the table alive. And they all started pounding his head till the skull cracked open. And then they took their forks and their straws, and they put it right into the brain, and they all took a sip.
And before. Faces of Death. In the beginning of that show, they show a public execution in the electric chair. Did you see that?
Yeah, you get to see the eyeballs hit the front of the bag.
You know, if they put that on television here in New York and told people this is your consequence when you do something, you'll murder somebody, we may have less murders, you know that?
Yeah, movie came out in 1978. It's a documentary. So the eyeballs hit the front of the bag.
Listen, cats, y'all don't know what an execution looks like till you witness a lightning bolt going into somebody's head.
But believe it or not, Richie, he'll walk away with nothing happening except for maybe a slight burn.
That all depends on what kind of voltage my father's hitting you with.
Yeah, but normally a person can withstand a lightning bolt. It's surprisingly that what shocks me out of all of it, when a person gets hit with it and goes to the doctor to get himself checked out, that he's actually didn't fry inside, because of the heat.
Johnny, let me tell you something. The 2 lightning bolts that I got to witness that came straight down into these domes, Johnny, let me tell you something. If you could survive that, you're built bigger than me.
Zeus is throwing them.
I've talked about that Faces of Death a number of times, and no one's ever seen it. You're the first person that's ever brought it up that I know, that I've been talking to, that ever seen it.
It's cut on the out because it cauterizes itself as it exits at the same time, so you're really not going to bleed.
Well, you know, gentlemen, Jim, the first time I seen it, I thought nothing of it. But when I got to see it a second time, I realized, the questions now need to be asked.
Well, I've been raving about that show for years, saying when you saw the horse, they hung you, and everybody gathered around, and it was public execution. If they take these people who murder and rape kids and everything like that, and put them in a square and electrocute them, and let people see that, maybe some moron will say, hey, if I hurt somebody, this is what they're going to do to me. Maybe it'll stop some of it.
Johnny, I'm going to tell you, Jim, I'm going to tell you about the first one I got to witness, not the second one. The first one happened on Kings Highway between West 4th Street and West 5th Street on the Highland Avenue side of Kings Highway sidewalk.
Yeah, we know the neighborhood.
I can't recall, though, if it was 76 or 77. Might have even been 75. Something like that. I try not to remember. More so when I thought nothing of it, and then I got to see it a second time, and now I have to ask questions.
Again, if they see the consequences, maybe it'll slow things down.
Well, let me tell you something, dog. When that happens, you fall just slightly short of fucking Adolf Hitler, but you got paid 1,000 times worse. The 2 bullets that went into his brain and vegetized him that his government tried so hard to cover up, that was just a small message.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
The biggest problem that we have here are court-appointed attorneys who are practicing law and helping these convicts stay alive. But unfortunately, there are different degrees and levels of punishment that this country has developed over the years. Instead of just go right directly to capital punishment for capital offenses, eye for an eye, Roger.
Well, Frank, I see it like this, dog. I'm all for capital punishment. All for it, man. But I only think that, it just needs to be applied in one place and one place only. Because you know what? I do believe in an eye for an eye and a life for a life. And I'm sorry That's just the way it is. I mean, I know to y'all, it's something that, you know, you don't really care about. But when you're me and you understand how really tiny, minuscule, and short your lives are, yeah, I'm for it.
It's not Frank, but, okay, I got you.
It's Johnny, be good.
He called me Frank. It's okay, it's all good. But, yes, if there was capital punishment on any offense, then it would be a different ballgame. Listen, my father-in-law was hit and run. He was killed by a revoked licensed driver. And after 2 weeks, the kid gave himself up, and he got nothing. You know what? 6 months probation, if you consider that something, I consider that nothing compared to what he did. You know, so in God we trust. That's what that kid did.
Well, the other Frank back there will explain to you why I do the name Uncle Chaz thing.
Getting 6 months probation, 900 hours of community service. Or let's not forget that they revoked his license for another 5 years, like it mattered anyway. And he got away with killing him, and that was it.
Who's the guy that says you can call me Ray, you can call me Jay?
You can call me Ray J, and you can call me
Gallagher. Remember him?
Yes.
He was funny, man. A friend of mine went to one of his shows, and he says, "What the hell is this?" And everybody was going underneath a big plastic, and it was time for him to break watermelons. Oh my God! He said it was great.
You know, he was just on television about 3 months ago. He's trying to make a comeback. He had some major heart surgery, and he's got no hair on his head now, and he's trying to do a comeback. He does some clubs.
That was very funny years ago. He broke cantaloupes, melons, pineapple, everything.
Yeah, he was good. He was really funny.
Is that comedian George Carlin still alive?
No. Carlin died about 4 years ago.
Really? I'm surprised I don't remember that.
7 words to be said. You can't curse on television. That was his claim to fame.
He was very funny, man. Very funny.
But he got very involved in politics. He was very opinionated in politics, and now he was getting, that was going to be his downfall if he stayed alive. He died pretty young, that guy.
Yeah, the actual show, George Carlin at Carnegie Hall, hilarious.
That was his last major show, Carnegie Hall. I think he died 2 years after that.
No way.
No, I'm serious. He said he's got to be dead 4 years, 5 years.
He died in 2008.
I was close.
Who died? They're talking about George Carlin. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to listen to his records. Yeah, I think the best one was the one at Carnegie Hall. He was hilarious. And then Howie Mandel came onto the picture. He was a funny dude.
Howie Mandel is a germophobic. You can't touch him.
Yeah, I understood that. I know. He's got a separate house from his family. He was living outside of the house for a while. But now I think he's back in. But it's been a struggle of his all his life.
Yeah, he's funny, though. I remember him. He used to blow up the glove, the elastic glove, and put it on his head. He was a funny man.
How funny? Like I'm a clown funny?
Nah. He was a comedian. And in those days, you didn't have cursing and the things they have on television today. But he caught your attention.
Like I'm here to fucking amuse you or something?
Exactly.
Funny? Funny like how? Funny like I'm here to amuse you?
Richie 127 pops up. There he is. Put the spotlight out.
Well, the truth of the matter is, yes, funny as in like here to amuse you. That was the whole initial project.
Beginning and then he petered out. What do you mean? I talk funny. What do I look funny? What do I sound funny? What do you mean by fucking funny? Well, how the fuck am I funny?
Spider, shut the fuck up.
Can you name all the movies that he was in, Joe Pesci?
Get a job.
Get your shoe shine box and get outside.
I guess you haven't heard lately. You ain't go up there and tell you no more shines. You've been away a long time.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, guys, but that shine box that I donned right at the bottom of the steps of the F train, 86th Avenue X goddamn station, made sure that every goddamn night I was doing nothing but treating all the girls in the neighborhood.
I guess you haven't heard lately, yeah.
Shine box.
You know, sometimes they don't know if you're kidding. There's a lot of people around here, you know. Hold him here. Don't let him go. Don't let him leave. Hold him here.
Michael, you fail to realize something, Michael. The way I laid it out, I ain't lying, Michael. And anybody who's somebody in Bensonhurst and Gravesend can tell you, yeah, Big Richie's nephew had one of the best shine boxes at the bottom of the train steps. Right up there with the roses and the clams, baby.
I lived on East 1st and Avenue W. Don't tell me about Gravesend.
Can anybody name the movies that Joe Pesci was in? I was looking on your tablet.
When he was a lawyer. Then there was the one with those two cops, Mel Gibson. Easy Money?
Lethal Weapon. Yeah, at the drive-thru. Gets, Leo gets, whatever you need, Leo gets.
That's it, Richie.
One of the Die Hard movies, wasn't it?
True.
Stay in the car. Yo.
How funny was that suit that he got because the other one was in the mud? Who was that? Cousin Vinny? Something like that? Uncle Vinny? Cousin Vinny? Yeah, my cousin Vinny. I cracked up on the first scene where he went into the jail cell and the kid thought he was going to get a dick in the ass.
Isn't that, what's her name's debut? The girl from Bensonhurst. I can't remember her name.
Well, no, we don't talk about CK and 911 no more.
Rosie Perez is from Myrtle Avenue. No, that wasn't Rosie Perez.
Did she tell you she wants to put joy inside your heart?
Marissa Tomei, that's it. That's who it was. She was in The Wrestler with, what the hell's his name? She did a scene with The Wrestler.
Yeah, you blend. Hey, Jim, did you look up tilapia yet?
No, my wife's on the second floor with the computer. I'm downstairs.
Take charge, Jim. Don't let it throw you in the basement, Jim. Get up there with your radios, Jim.
Yeah, it'll take a lot of work to get these back upstairs.
We'll help you.
But she could tell you the difference between a Hewlett Packard.
Wow, all day, my two cheerleaders were trying everything to get my attention, and I didn't budge.
Oh, come on, Mike.
I must have really upset them. I took and it seems to be working. 3 of them I discarded, like a used rag, like a bar rag. When your drink spills on the bar, you wipe it up with a bar rag, and you throw it out. I discarded them like bar rags. But Michael Jackson I can't discard. I try to forgive him. I say my prayers. You know, hatred is a pill that you take wishing someone else would die. But I just can't find it in my heart. And once or twice a week I try it around. You never know, one day I'll get lucky.
Well, you know, Mike, I'm not going to lie, but Johnny Appleseed said I got the night off. But I'll tell you what, nothing tops what goes on Channel 19 in the morning while they're out there crying like babies, saying, oh, everybody on Channel 31, they're very mad at you for what I do on the overnights there while I'm playing lie after lie, contradiction after contradiction, and bullshit after bullshit, and joke after joke. So, I'm sorry, guys, there. I'm sorry if it brings a little bit of tears to your eyes. Really, I'm totally sorry if it has you actually crying in the mirror.
I'm sure it annoys some of the people, and some it don't. It don't annoy me. I got 39 other channels to choose from. And then I got about 100 uppers and 50 lowers. I'm good. I don't like anything. I like variety as the spice of life. You know, we argue for a few days, then we talk for a few days, then we argue amongst ourselves a few days, then we play guessing games, and we talk about history, then we go back to ball breaking a little bit. It can't just be all talk, because that's why I left pretty much ham radio. I mean, I'm still connected, but I barely use it. It can't be all just talk. What do you talk about? Radios and tubes and microphones. That's all pretty cool. I get it. I like to talk about the old stuff, but I can't have it easy all day. Every day. I can't. Just can't.
Well, I think what it is, man, is that we sort of entwine and captivate the viewers and have them laughing hysterical where they can skip their abdominal workouts and waiting for the next line to come out, as opposed to getting disgusted, nauseating, turning it off, or not wanting to listen anymore. So, yeah, I guess you could say we are the envy-hate of the world out here.
Hey, Mike, Baba Booey. I'm on the couch. I'm vaporing. I'm in my shorts. The kids are put to bed. Wife's laying down watching TV. What do you think I forgot downstairs, Mike?
Your cell.
I'll be right back.
I was going to say the cigar, but I keep forgetting you can't smoke anywhere but in the radio room. Hey, Jim.
My limit to phones is 2 cans with a 20-foot string. That's the limit to my tech on the phone.
Hey, Jim. Jim?
Yeah?
Tell him forget the Google and you'd rather be busy just digesting it.
Yeah, I
Well, listen. I could be wrong, but with his knowledge, it could turn out to be like something like that happened with me. Like my favorite food, pork chop. Nothing I liked more than pork chops, right? Till after I closed down a CB shop in '96 in Florida, and I decided to go live on a farm for a little while. Well, on that farm, it happened to be a pig farm, and it happened to be like a slaughterhouse farm. Well, Jim, my favorite food, pork chops, bro. I adored pork chops, more so because they were on the table 3 nights a week on the farm. But I adored them my whole life, right? Until I got to see, Jim, how they worm the pig prior to slaughter. Once I seen that, Jimmy, I swear, I didn't eat pork chops for all 2.5 years.
Yeah, that can do it. I can believe that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, dog. The first dinner my mother tried to serve me back on Jersey soil was pork chops. She couldn't believe it. She says, hold on a second. His pupils ain't dilated, and I know he's hungry. And this is pork chops, his favorite meal. He's turning away. Something's definitely wrong. This is your favorite meal. And then I said, okay. I said, I'll tell you what. Let's have dinner. I'm going to have anything but the pork chops. And when this meal's over, I'm going to tell you how they worm these motherfuckers before they slaughter them.
Yeah. Columbus came here and planted the flag. It was under their rule. Even though other people came after them, it was whoever planted the flag first.
Y tu cuerpo me motiva a mí.